The Aramaic and Palestinian Targum, Deuteronomy chapter 29. These are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moshe to ratify with the children of Israel in the land of Moab, besides that covenant which he ratified with them at Horeb. And Moses called to Israel and said to them, You have seen all the plagues which the word of the Lord wrought in the land of Mizraim on Pharaoh and all his servants, and all the inhabitants of that land, those great temptations, signs and wonders which you saw with your eyes. And the word of the Lord hath given you a heart not to forget, but to understand, eyes not to blink, but to see, ears not to be stopped, but to listen with. Yet have you forgotten the law with your heart, and have blinked with your eyes, and have stopped your ears until this time of this day. And I have led you 40 years in the wilderness. Your garments have not become old upon your bodies, nor your shoes worn away from your feet. You have not eaten unleavened bread, nor drunk wine, new or old. And my law hath been diligently delivered in your schools, that you might be occupied therein, and you might know that I am the Lord your God. And you came to this place, and Sihon king of Heshbon and Og king of Mathnan came out to meet us in battle array, and we smote them, and subdued their land, and gave it for an inheritance to the tribe of Reuben, Gad, and half the tribe of Manasseh. Keep therefore the words of this covenant, and perform it, that you may have posterity in all that you do. Jerusalem text. And you shall keep the words of this covenant, and perform them, that you may prosper in all that you do. Moshe the prophet said, I have called you not in secret, but while standing this day, all of you, before the Lord your God, the princes of your Sanhedrin, the chiefs of your tribes, your elders and your officers, all men of Israel, your little ones, your wives, and your sojourners who are in your camps, from the hewer of the wood to the filler of your water, that you may enter into the covenant of the Lord your God, and may have in remembrance the oath which the Lord your God doth ratify with you this day. Jerusalem text says, your little ones, wives and sojourners within your camps, and the hewer of your wood to the filler of your water, that you may not transgress the covenant of the Lord your God, nor the oath which he confirmeth with you this day. That you may stand today before him a purified people, and that he may be a God to you, as he hath spoken to you, and as he did swear unto Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And not with you only do I ratify this covenant and attest its adjuration, but all the generations which have risen from the days of old stand with us today before the Lord our God, and all the generations which are to arise unto the end of the world, all of them stand with us here this day. Jerusalem text says, all the generations which have risen from the days of old until now stand with thee today before the Lord your God, and all the generations which are to arise after us stand also here with us today. For you know the number of the years that we dwelt in the land of Mizraim, and the mighty works which were wrought for us among the nations through which you have passed. You have seen their abominations, and their idols of wood and stone, which they have set forth in the streets, and the idols of silver and gold that have been placed with themselves in the houses, shutting the doors after them, lest they should be stolen. Be aware then, lest there be among you now, or hereafter, a man woman, family, or tribe, whose heart may be turned away to wander any day from the service of the Lord our God, to worship the idols of those nations. Or lest there be among you the error which striketh root in them, whose heart wandereth after his sin. For the beginning of sin may be sweet, but its end is bitter as the deadly wormwood. Jerusalem text says, "You have seen their hateful things and their abominations, the idols of wood and stone, of silver and gold, idols of wood and stone set forth in the streets, and those of silver and gold kept with themselves in the house, because they were afraid they would be stolen. Lest there be among you man, woman, family, or tribe, whose heart is turned away this day from the Lord our God to go and worship the idols of these people, or there be a man among you whose heart pondereth upon sin, which is like a root struck into the earth. For its beginning may be sweet as honey, but its end will be bitter as the deadly wormwood. Or it be that when he heareth the words of the curse, he become reprobate in his heart, saying, I shall have peace, though I go on in the strength of the evil desires of my heart, so that he will add presumption to the sins of ignorance. It would not be pleasing to the Lord to forgive him. For the Lord's anger and indignation will wax hot against that man, and all the words of the curses written in this book will rest upon him. And the Lord will blot out the memorial of his name from under the heavens. And the Lord will separate him unto evil from all the tribes of Israel, according to all the maledictions of the covenant which are written in this book. And the generations of your children who will rise after you, and the stranger who will come from a far off land, when they see the plagues of that land, and the afflictions which the Lord will have sent upon it, the whole land burnt with brimstone, salt, and fierce heat, no longer fit for sowing, nor productive of a blade of any springing herbage, ruined, as Sodom and Amorah, Admah and Zeboim were overthrown by the word of the Lord in his wrath and indignation. Then all people will say, Why hath the Lord done so unto this land? What meaneth the strength of this great anger? And they will say, Because they forsook the covenant of the Lord, the God of their fathers, which he made with them when he brought them out from the land of Mizraim. But they went after their evil desires, and served the gods of the Gentiles, and worshipped gods which they had not known, nor had any part with. And the anger of the Lord waxed strong against this land, to bring upon it the curses written in this book. And the Lord hath made them to wander forth from the country with anger, indignation, and wrath, and hath cast them into captivity in another land until this day. The secret things are manifest before the Lord our God, and he will take vengeance for them. But the things that are revealed are delivered unto us and to our children forever, to perform by them the thing that is right, for the confirmation of all the words of this law. Blessed be his name.